Next up, we're going to make your item analysis on assessments a snap with a Google extension called Flubaroo. So here's the quiz I made in the previous video. Let's assume that some people have taken it already. So I'd go into responses, and if I wanted to find out what the responses were in the spreadsheet, click that button right there, and it opens it up. Now, like I said, nobody's taken this yet, so there's not going to be anybody in here. But I'm going to show this to you so that you can see how to add Flubaroo in, because you have to do that the first time that you do this. So go up here to Add-ons, and then click Get Add-ons. Now, if you're lucky, it pops up first. We're not lucky, so I got to type in Flubaroo. There it is. Now it's free, so I'm going to click to add it. And it wants all these different permissions. Feel free to read through them if you wish. I already have, so I would like to allow all those things to happen. And now I'm good to go. It is set up on my thing. Now you might have read this nice pop-up here, and that's exactly what we would do. You go into add-ons, go to Flubaroo, and you ask it to grade the assignment. But there's nothing in here. So I'm going to go over and I'm going to pull up a different quiz that I've taken a different time. And this one actually has some responses in it. So you can see this is what it looks like with responses. I've got almost 50 people have taken this quiz at one point. So there is the spreadsheet that's associated with it. Now, what I need to do with this before I do anything else with Flubaroo or anything else, the very first thing is notice this first row across here, and let's put it in yellow for a second. So this is the key. So this has all the correct answers in it. So I know you already did that one time when you went through and set up your form with the quiz in it. You have to do it again if you want to use Flubaroo to do it. But as you can see, it's not strictly necessary to use Flubaroo if you just want to get scores, because here they are in this column right here in an easy to see format. And I can look over to the right and I can see all the various scores that they got. But if I would like to have some item analysis and not have to go through and do it myself, I can use Flubaroo. So I go on up to add-ons and I go to Flubaroo. Now, I already graded this assignment once, so I'm going to ask it to regrade it for me, but it could just say grade. So click on that. And then it asks me a couple of nosy questions. And the first thing is I have to go through, and each one of the columns is given a thing here, and I have to tell it what it is. Basically, it's this. If it's something that I want graded, that there's an answer to, then I put normal grading. If it's something like the name or what their score is or their email address, I put down identifies student. All right. So we're good here. Now I press continue. Now this next part is very, very important. I have to tell it which one is the key. Well, the first one is the key. It usually defaults to that, but it doesn't always default to that. But the first one is in fact the key. It doesn't have to be the first one. It's whatever one in here I want it to be. But in this case, I have it as the first thing in there. So I'm going to press continue. And this takes a moment to do. Getting there, getting there, getting there. All right, it's complete. Cool. So click on that and take a look at what this gives you. It gives you a nice graphic here. It didn't do anything to the original stuff. It just copied it on over here and gave me a new thing. Now here's what a couple of these things mean. So up here, it gives me the basics of it. There were 4 questions on here. Now notice that I had the questions with different numbers on them. So I assigned each one like 25 points, and this just gave it 4 points. But anyway, so it tells me that the average score was 1.48, which generally tells me people didn't know what they were doing on this back when they took this. And it also tells me how many low scoring questions they are. Right here are the 4 questions that were on this quiz, and the white column, that one, they got just over the cut score. Looks like they got 60%. So the cut score on this, it was defined in the thing as 60%. You can change that, by the way. So all the other ones were less than 60%. And so they are flagged as being questions that people scored low on. Also, within here, you can see that it pretty much everybody didn't do very well, except the few people who did 75 or above. They are in black instead of in red. And so you can look at it 2 different ways. Now, there's a good bit more functionality to Flubaroo, but that's the basics to get you started. Play around with it, see what you like, and get out there and check those items.